What is up, MPX addicts? This is a member of the Front Row crew, Kyle Smith here, going over MPX Grand Theft Auto. Now, as you may notice, just me by myself, Jay and Austin, we couldn't find a way for all of us to get together. As for me personally, I feel the addicts, the fans, they deserve this preview show. It's one of those things where, I think y'all enjoy it. I definitely enjoy doing it. But, real life got in the way. Austin's out there making that money. Good on you, Austin. And Jay just, I don't know, didn't really seem up for, hey, let's get together and shoot a video. And that's something I get all the time is I'll get messages from MPX athletes, MPX addicts, head of creative, all about, hey, the videos are great, except for the host, Jay. And Jay means well, he really does. But here's the thing is, head of creative Jamie was telling me, all the videos are golden, you're coming up with good stuff, you and Austin are great, you just got to get rid of Jay. Jay means well. Here's the thing. The reason me and Austin are so good is the simple fact that before we speak, before we think, when we wake up in the morning, we sit there and we WWJD. What would Jamie do? See, when you live that lifestyle, when you say WWJD, you automatically just become great. You become better than expected. Why? Because Jamie Aller is, if not, one of the best people in the wrestling business today. So when Jay finally sees the light and he finally WWJD, he will be better. Then we will all three be on the same page and it will be fantastic. But let's go ahead and get into it. Let's talk about what we're here for. We're talking about MPX Grand Theft. We're talking about the show right before MPX Destiny, one of the biggest shows in MPX history every year, Destiny.
Really? Really? You gonna do me like that, huh? Talk about gratitude. What's up, Texas wrestling fans? This is Jay Williams, your hashtag certified mark, coming to you from, well, what passes for my studio. I'm a little under the weather at the moment, so you're going to notice I sound a little weird, and I may cough during recording. But that's one of the reasons we're doing the prediction show the way we're doing it right now, so that, well, I can work through that. My man Kyle, I don't know what he's thinking. I think he's just drank a little too much of the Aller Kool-Aid. And, well, I guess we'll just have to go through with that. But in the meantime, we've got a lot to talk about for Grand Theft. And, oh geez, it's going to be an interesting show. Let's say that. So, without any further ado, let's get to the first bit.
Is the main event, Mike Fox. I still don't know why we're using that moniker. Hadn't been the main event in the past 5 or 10 years, but hey, go ahead and say it. I mean, I could call myself the main event. Means just the same, I would think. Anyways, Mike Fox has a revelation for us. Not really sure what that revelation is going to be. I'm assuming it's going to be about the mask that he stole from Jason Silver. Hence why the show is probably called Grand Theft. Because what you did is you did steal. Now, Fox, you're a hell of an athlete. You are a Texas wrestling legend. But your time is up. There's always a point to where some wrestlers got to go, my time's done. And Fox, I think your time's done. And going up against creative, you've kind of been a thorn in their side. You've kind of stuck it to them lately. You were buddy-buddy with them, and now you're not. It seems like you've fallen out of favor with creative. It seems like you've dropped the ball. And Mike, I mean, if I was you, just be wary of that. You don't want to hear that creative has nothing for you. And you keep going the way you're going, Fox, and you keep sitting there and you keep making those stares at the McKenzies and you keep wanting that title. That's exactly what you're going to hear. You're going to be flat on your back and you're going to have Jamie standing over you saying, creative has nothing for you. Now, as far as your revelation is, by all means, like I said, I don't know what it is. I'm assuming it's about Jason Silver's mask that you wrongfully have. Maybe, hopefully, it's you dropping the main event moniker since you haven't main evented in who knows how long. I guess we'll have to tune in to find out at MPX Grand Theft to see what you're going to say.
right now I'm feeling, like I can relate a little bit to Mike Fox. It's just constantly got Aller in his way. He's got, his own opponents that are just he's got to prove himself with. And of course, he's got Kyle Smith naysaying him. Oh, he was a great athlete. Oh, Jay means well. Maybe not a direct equation, but I can kind of see it. I can relate a little bit. But let's go ahead and talk about what Fox has to say. I mean, obviously, it's going to have something to do with the mask. It's going to have, it's probably going to have everything to do with the mask. I mean, that and, of course, what seems to be Mike Fox's current target, which would be Hardakis. The main event hasn't been able to beat the Demon of Devastation yet, and you gotta imagine he wants to do that. And so, he's gonna do everything he can. Will he put the mask on himself to see if he can gain the Immortal's power? Will he destroy the mask, hoping to destroy a bit of the Demon's power? Who knows? But we'll find out Saturday, won't we? I'm interested. You? But speaking of that, I mean, when it comes to the mask, I gotta say that when Jason first put it on, I was with the rest of the addicts. I wanted to see what kind of devastation the Immortal could bring when he had the power of Hardakis behind him. But I have to admit, during Fight, Win, Survive, it became very obvious that devastation came with a cost. I mean, I started to really not like what the Immortal was turning into. He was becoming a demon of his own. And, well, maybe he's better off without the mask.
All right, MPX Grand Theft Auto, we've got the return of the greatest luchador in MPX history, El Sapo, versus the now maskless Jason Silver. Now, Jason Silver is one of the best athletes here in MPX. He won MPX Athlete of the Year in 2018. He is he's held almost every title here. He's one of the most decorated athletes. But the problem is, I feel Silver might have depended on that mask a little bit. At first, he didn't want it, and at first, honestly, he didn't need it. Then he puts the mask on, and it's got a completely different Jason Silver. And I feel Jason Silver might have gotten used to that Silver. We're not having that Silver. He doesn't have the mask. He's coming back as old Jason Silver. I honestly think it's going to mess with him. It's going to be in his head. Al Sopo, he's looking to make a big return. He's making a big splash here. And, I mean, I got to give it to El Sapo. I think he's got a chance to beat Jason Silver because Jason Silver's attention is going to be focused elsewhere. It's going to be focused on Mike Fox. It's going to be focused on his mask. We'll see what happens, but I'm thinking we're going to see El Sapo get his hand raised.
Like I said, I think Jason might be better off without the mask. I mean, he's always been a top card competitor. He's always been just an amazing athlete ever since I saw him for the first time at Controlled Chaos in 2018. And that was my first time. Even before then, he was an amazing top card athlete. So it's just, I think he can win this match, of course. I mean, he's going to be taking on Sapo, whose first match back in, I don't even know how long, he lost to a security guard who was barely conscious. You tell me what his chances are.
All right, addicts, another match we have lined up here at MPX Grand Theft is the new formed faction of Loverboy Larry, the 1 in a million Tatum, and CJ Ward. Now, these guys, they're pretty cool. I mean, let's be honest here. You got Loverboy Larry. He knows how to have fun, night on town. You got Tatum, representing Southlake, has the money to back it up. And then you've got the Mount Chill, cool himself, CJ Ward. It's a pretty good faction, pretty good team. And as we saw last week, they kind of proved they're making a name for themselves here in MPX. Taking out Livy, I mean, let's be honest here. They took out Zero. It's living Zero, no offense to them, but I mean, if you're going to make a name, to me, you should go after the biggest and the baddest people there. That is kind of what they've done this week. They're coming out with their team, and they're taking on Zero. They're taking on Lizzie Thorne, and with them is Baby D. Now, Baby D is one of the most decorated athletes here in MPX. There's no mistaking that. But here's the problem. Baby D, Lizzie, Zero, they're not a team. They're all out for themselves. They're just here, hopefully, to have a fight. Now, when you have Loverboy Larry, Tatum, and CJ there, they're looking to sit there and make a name for themselves. And what a better way to make your name for yourself than taking out Baby D, who is one of the most beloved and decorated MPX athletes here. And it's nothing against Zero, and it's nothing against Lizzie. Lizzie's young and upstart. She's great. She's going to be good. She's not there yet, and she's a singles wrestler. We haven't really seen her work in a team. Zero, we've seen him work in a team before, but usually with Richter. I'm giving this advantage to Loverboy Larry, Tatum, and CJ, which, guys, please, got to come up with a name. I'm tired of saying all three of your names. Please, that's one thing. And, honestly, I would come up with it, but I'm not good with that. I'll leave that to Austin. Austin likes y'all. Austin, I could see y'all and Austin, hanging out there. So we'll see what happens, but that's my prediction. I'm easily seeing Loverboy Larry, seeing CJ, and seeing Tatum doing exactly what they did last week, and that's laying out the competition and maybe even going a little extra and, proving a point, which is exactly what I think they're going to do.
You keep dogging on Zero. I'm beginning to think that you're just upset because he, after Aller kicked him out of creative, he turned on Aller. I mean, it was just desserts at that point, personally. But, well, I gotta say, last week, I said that the big thing that he was missing, and you were saying he just didn't have that thing, the big thing he was missing was backup. CJ had it, so therefore Zero was constantly having to keep an eye both on his opponent and on the guys outside the ring. You never knew where the attacks were going to come from. Whether they came from them or not, you always had to keep that in the back of your mind. Now, he's going to have backup. He's going to have Baby D, the strongest, one of the absolute best wrestlers in MPX. It's just, I'm not even going to qualify it, just one of the best wrestlers in MPX. She's held 3 out of the 4 titles, and she's come close to that 4th title. And you know why she didn't have that 4th title. You and I both know. But also going to have Lizzie Thorne, former MPX Prospect Champion. And, I think Larry was a tag team champion a long time ago. And you say that they're already a team. Well, I mean, it means they like each other. I mean, Lizzie and Baby D and Zero get along fine too. So they'll be just as much of a team. So I think we're going to see 2 groups go against each other. Not necessarily 2 teams. But I'm going to give this one to Baby D because, well, I mean, come on, it's Baby D.
All right, MPX Grand Theft. We've got an interesting matchup here. We've got an old feud renewed. We've got Kenny Steele versus Super Tix, Brent McKenzie. The winner of this match gets a match at the Destiny card. And if you're an MPX athlete, you want to be on that card. It's one of the biggest nights always in the history of MPX. And both these men are looking to get on that card. And, well, I think I got to give the edge to Brent McKenzie here. He's got Jamie Aller on his side. He's got Creative on his side. And, you can put all the heroes, wink, wink, that you want in front of Jamie and Brent. But when all is said and done, they will stand tall and they will always run this town. And that's exactly what they're going to do here tonight. They're going to sit there and they're going to make an example of somebody who's been in the thorn in the side of Creative, and that's Kenny Steele. Now, like I said, Brent's got Jamie. He's got his cousin Scott. He's got Ryan. He's got the Tommy Becker. He's got Creative behind him. Who does Kenny Steele have? He's a member of the Dot Mob. Where's the Dot Mob been, Kenny? Why are they not watching your back anymore? You're going to say you have the addicts behind you, but hey, as many people have proven, addicts aren't really going to help you all that much when you're going up against the head of creative, Jamie Aller, and his boys. And that's exactly what's going to happen here. Brent McKenzie's going to put you on your back, 1, 2, 3. Jamie's going to stand over you, and you're going to hear those lines, "Creative has nothing for you, kid." That's exactly how I feel it's going to happen.
I gotta agree, this match is gonna be pretty awesome. I mean, we're seeing a rivalry that is storied before I even started going to MPX. Brent McKenzie versus Kenny Steele, DTF versus Dot Mob. I mean, obviously, neither team is going to be there because DTF is dead and Dot Mob, well, I haven't seen them since Ty was there that one time. But, you know, they're going to be fighting for a spot on the card at Destiny. At Destiny. Which means that both of them are going to be fighting that much harder. And after recent events, I'm pretty sure Kenny Steele really, really wants on the card at Destiny. Because he's, you know, got a bit of a target. But Brent's likely to have Jamie in his corner, and we all know how that goes.
All right, MPX addicts, for MPX Grand Theft, we've got Stephen Kirby taking on Dave Sagan. This is Sagan's 4th title defense, one of the hardest defenses, because we always know if you win this, you can cash that in on the MPX title whenever you want. Not many people have been able to do that. And Stephen Kirby is probably one of, if not the most decorated MPX athlete. He's won every title. He's done it all. He's seen it all. Now, this is the one thing where me and Jamie disagree on. And Jamie, you know I love you and I am sorry. But letting Dave Sagan go was a mistake. And I think it's kind of proven that. You have lit a fire under Dave, and maybe that was your whole point all along. Maybe because you obviously saw something in Dave when you first brought him into the Impact Players, and he had dropped the ball. He wasn't performing the way you wanted, and I completely understand that. Jamie has a high standard of performance, as well as he should. Dave wasn't performing that way. He got laid out. He comes in, he wins the prospect title. He's defended once, defended twice, defended a 3rd time, no matter who Creative has put in front of him, and now Creative has picked Stephen Kirby. The problem with this, and Stephen Kirby's a great athlete, great competitor, one of my favorites there at MPX, but Stephen just lost the tag titles to a bunch of clowns, and that's, I think, still messing with his head. We don't know how Schaefer, his partner, is. Schaefer looked pretty bad after that match. I think Kirby's a little worried and focused on that. I think maybe Creative could have found someone better, not better as a better athlete, because obviously Stephen Kirby's one of the best, but someone whose head is maybe better in the game as far as taking out Dave Sagan, because honestly, I think Dave is going to win. He's going to get that 4th title win, and then at the end of the night, we're all going to say, "Hail Sagan."
You know, I gotta say, this is probably going to be one that you and I very much agree on. I mean, Stephen Kirby is the greatest human being alive, according to himself. And he's been an incredible champion, prospect champion, tag team champion multiple times. But, like you said, he's just lost the tag team championship to a couple of clowns. And that's got to be doing something to his head. Dave, on the other hand, I mean, he's been single-minded. He's been focused on getting through this championship run so that he can pick his time, he can pick his place, and he can become the MPX champion. He can finally stick it to Aller and prove why everybody should be saying, "Hail Sagan."
All right, we've got one of the biggest matches here on MPX Grand Theft. We've got Mr. Match of the Night, Ryan Remington, the Addicts champion, versus Frankie Fisher. Now this match, what a shock. It's going to be match of the night. Why? Because Ryan Remington's in it. I mean, I honestly get tired of saying he's the best, but honestly, right now in MPX, he is the best. Look at his track record. Look at his matches. They've gotten better and better and better, and every time, hence why he's called Mr. Match of the Night. That's exactly what he does. He goes out there and he steals the show and he has Match of the Night. And it should be no different here. And he's going against a great competitor in Frankie Fisher. Kill them all. That's exactly what's going to happen. This is going to be a fight. It's going to be a great contest. And, well, I got to go with Ryan Remington on this one. Mr. Match of the Night. I mean, it's going to be a hard fought. Don't get me wrong, Frankie. You are one hell of a competitor. But Ryan Remington right now is on the biggest streak of his career, and it's only getting better. His star is so bright in independent wrestling in Texas, in the Metroplex, in MPX. There's nothing that this man can't do. And when he sits there and when he hits that sunglass kiss DDT, when he takes your head off with that lariat, that's going to be it. Ryan Remington is going to single-handedly, easily win this match. And to all you people say, oh, you can't do it without Jamie Aller, I honestly don't know where that comes from. Look at his matches and look at some of his match of the nights and look at his wins. They're all by him. Just like last week. Ryan Remington beat one of the best in the world in Shane Strickland by himself. Jay, I'm sorry, I don't care what you say. Jamie did nothing wrong. Ryan won that match. You cannot discredit how good Ryan Remington is. Mr. Match of the Night will once again do what he does best, and that's take the night and take the match.
Well, we'll kind of agree on a couple of things here as well. I mean, it is definitely likely to be the match of the night. Not just because, oh, it's Ryan Remington, he is Mr. Match of the Night, but we're talking two of the most prolific performers in MPX. You know, the veteran, Mr. Everything, Mr. MPX himself, Frankie Fisher. Kill 'em all. Versus Ryan Remington, who has been an absolute dominating force. But the question is, will Frankie be fighting Ryan, or will he be fighting Creative? I mean, if he's fighting Ryan, I think he's got a chance. Ryan's good, but, you know, he might not think at the same level of Frankie Fisher. He's, you know, Fisher is wily. He's, you know, clever. But, you know, even I have to admit, it's hard to outthink Jamie Aller, especially when Jamie Aller's on the outside. So, if he's fighting against Creative, no, I don't think he's got a chance. But of course, you know, you don't think that Jamie does anything wrong. You drank that Kool-Aid a while ago. So, yeah. Either way, it's definitely going to be a heck of a night, wrestling fans. It's going to be just, it's the penultimate show before Destiny calls, you know? So, yeah, stay tuned. Catch it all. If you're not there at the show, why? I mean, I can't think of anything else important going on that night, can you? But if you like this, like, share, subscribe, catch us on Facebook, donate to our Patreon, whole 9 yards. We got new tech, but that costs money. So if you want to see this channel grow, get better, everything like that, help us out. Thanks, and keep it kayfabe, wrestling fans. Mark out.